Destination food and destination bedding are common topics that you're going to find here on Landbeat and many other outlets, but killing deer in transition is often overlooked but extremely necessary from your hunting strategy. To learn about that, check out this week's Landbeat. Hunting deer in transition is often a term that is misused, misunderstood, but commonly just thrown out there. The highest probability of harvesting deer, and oftentimes the safest, is harvesting deer in transition, right? But what has to be in place first and foremost to hunt deer in transition is distinct bedding and distinct food. At that point, you know the end of the game, right? Points A and B, where deer are going to and from on a consistent basis, not occasionally, not every now and then, but consistently. And then if you have areas of topography, ravines, benches, saddles in between those two defined points, now that's hunting deer in transition. Not just trying to get in between random potential bedding and random potential food sources, right? We need to create distinction on the landscape so that deer then do consistent things. We have to have a pattern to be able to go in and get to it. Now, the other very important factor of hunting deer in transition is, of course, like any good set, access. But what becomes difficult when hunting deer in transition is at some point you're in the middle, right? You're in the middle between bedding and good food, consistent food. That can be a food plot, that can be an ag field, that can be a good oak flat. It does not matter. But you have to be in between. So that means to get there, we can't bump the bedding, and when we're leaving, we can't bump the food, right? So layout really, really matters when it comes to hunting deer in transition and doing it successfully. So habitat managers out there, the juxtaposition or how you place these features, food plots with correlation to your road system, a correlation to bedding areas, and then interweaving topography features into that is extremely important. But killing deer in transition is by far, and I think one of the highest probability features because, or option strategies to be able to hunt, because you are in between, right? You're not at the very end, but you're not back at the safest, most secure location that you want to keep and maintain that security feature throughout a given set. You're killing and harvesting deer as they're passing through to continue to move on. It's not like they're sitting there at 30, 40, 50 yards for hours on end. Generally, it's a movement through. And you can get some definition in that travel pattern when you have the distinction, again, of bedding and food, but also a nice deep ravine cut heading up into a ridge, or you've got a big saddle depression in a ridge top where deer are consistently crossing. All those things really help to define that transition and make a very good stand option, whether it is early season and it's a bed to food pattern. If you can get there and the wind's going to be consistent and you're not bumping food and you're not bumping bedding, why not hunt that early season? Or in the rut, it's even better. Maybe it's a transition between two bedding areas and you have that topography feature. Hunt that. Or it could just be the late season. You don't have to be over that food source. It might be that food source is a long ways away from the quality bedding and you need to cut them off and get between. But transition areas, keep in mind a couple key things. Use topography features, right, if available, or other pinches, bottlenecks, but also make sure your access does not, whether you're going to or coming from, disturb either the food plot, the distinct food plot, feeding location, or the secure bedding. If you do that and you keep the wind consistent, you're mindful of thermals, you're going to be successful hunting deer in transition. So get out there, let us know this fall if you're going to have success hunting deer in transition, but make sure you have those components in place first before you give it a try.